Hi everyone, I wanted to provide you with an update on my dead controller. This is an RC-N1 again for a DJI Mini2 drone. As I mentioned in my previous videos, in case you haven't seen them, I'm in Europe at the moment traveling. I was planning on using my drone to fly over a number of beautiful places in France especially. I hadn't flown my drone in several weeks, and I was prompted with a firmware update when I launched the DJI Fly application. It prompted me to update the controller and the drone itself. I do not recall what version it was, but that's the latest as of December 2022. I proceeded with the update, then had some challenges connecting my controller to my phone. It just wouldn't get picked up. Ultimately, it did get picked up, and I was able to fly my drone around fundamentally once. Turned it off, went to another place in the town where I'm staying, and connected my phone to the controller, and nothing happened. It just wouldn't get picked up. It would cycle through the little power lightning charging icon in the top right corner of the phone would come up, but nothing would happen. So I called DJI, I emailed them, and basically they determined that the controller was defective. It's hard not to make the link with the update that I did. And in my opinion, I think that something must have gone wrong, or the firmware update is buggy, or something is off here. So I'm with our drone now in France, which is not a good situation. So a piece of advice to all of you guys: if you are prompted with a firmware update, and if you are off-site, or if you are traveling and you're planning on using your drone, do not update your firmware, unless if you're experiencing problems, obviously, and the firmware update is the only way to go. Otherwise, don't do it, right? It's just not worth it. And my drone was working fine before I actually went ahead with the update. So that just basically put me in a terrible situation, and I fundamentally I did it to myself. I should have known better. I thought the latest versions of everything would probably be the most stable version, and would perhaps provide me with additional features and functionality. If you are in the middle of something, if you are traveling, if you're planning on using your drone, don't do it, right? That's just the best thing to do is not to do anything, because you can run into that kind of situation. So when it comes to this controller, again, what's happening right now when I connect my phone to it is that I get the little lightning bolt telling me that it's doing something, it's charging, and my phone beeps, detects it, and then it disconnects on its own after 2 seconds, and then it reconnects after 1 second, disconnects again, and it's stuck in that loop forever. And the controller is actually never detected by the DJI Fly application, and it's not detected by my laptop either. So there's no way I can even try to re-update the firmware on that thing, because it's not even picked up at all. So it's fundamentally a brick. DJI determined that I would need to send it back, so now I'm stuck because I have to wait until I go back to Canada in order to send it back for repair, or probably replacement at that point. And the rest of my stay here in France is ruined from a drone standpoint, because there is no way I can make videos. So, well, lesson learned again. I will be back, but it still sucks. So, again, if you run into this, likely your controller is defective. You will have to send it back. Luckily, I do still have coverage and have an active service plan, so I'll be able to send it back easily, and they're pretty good when it comes to service. But if you are in the middle of something, if you're traveling, and unless if you're actually ready to be perhaps without your drone for weeks, then I would suggest that you do not perform firmware updates. And I think there are some additional videos online that seem to provide a similar kind of message. I'm sorry if the previous videos actually perhaps would have led you to a solution if you had a problem with your controller. I know I got a few dislikes by people and viewers. Perhaps they were just expecting that I would provide them with a solution, and they're running into issues too. The previous videos actually have gotten a number of views, which seems to indicate that I'm not the only one having issues with that new firmware. So I'm sorry if that was misleading, but I was just merely reporting the situation I was in. So apologies to those who thought perhaps that I would provide them with a solution. I don't even have a solution for myself. So that's kind of where I'm at. So that kind of closes that chapter about this DJI issue. Good luck to you all. I hope perhaps you had an issue that was fixable. And if you didn't, well, I'm sure the DJI support team will be able to help you out. Thanks, and stay put. I will be posting more videos soon when I get my drone back. And I'm working on a few more, actually, that I still didn't have a chance to process. Happy New Year to you guys. Have a fantastic 2023. And hope you will get some chances to fly around. And hopefully you won't get into that kind of situation. All right, chat soon. Bye.